In June 1941, during the years of the occupation of Belarus in the Minsk region near the village of Masyukovshchina, the Germans created a camp for Soviet prisoners of war, Stalag No. 352. Stalag No. 352 in its structure had two sections: the city camp, located in Minsk, and the forest camp near the village of Masyukovshchina. In addition, Stalag No. 352 had more than 90 branches at railway stations and 22 branches in the city of Minsk. From the first days of its existence, the camp was crowded. Prisoners of war were delivered by rail. German soldiers using brute physical force drove prisoners of war from the wagons. Those who refused to go or walked too slowly were shot on the spot. There were not enough places to accommodate the prisoners, and so many, 80%, were left to sleep in the open, even in winter. Later, the Germans organized the construction of additional tents. Before entering the camp, all prisoners were deprived of their old clothes. In return, they were given old and worn special camp clothes. Old and worn because this clothing was often removed from the dead bodies of prisoners for reuse. An inscription left by a prisoner on the wall of a punishment cell. Comrades, prisoners of war and commanders, fight against the German invaders and murderers. Soon the hour of reckoning will come, and then the fascist bastards will pay for Russian blood. Food in the camp came under the charge of the Economic Inspectorate of the Wehrmacht command located in Ostland. According to the decision of the inspectorate, each prisoner received 4 to 8 ounces of bread ersatz and about half a pint per day of water or soup. All food was of the lowest quality. Sometimes, instead of water, technical oils were used. Often this was in the form of a soup, consisting of cooked rotten potatoes and straw. Bread often contained straw and sawdust and was infected with mold, causing an epidemic of dysentery among the prisoners of the camp. As punishment, the fascists used forced starvation. In November 1941, an epidemic of typhus began in the camp. Medical assistance for prisoners was not provided. As a result, throughout the winter of 1941-42, about 55,000 people died. The main labor activity outside the city camp was carried out at the railway stations, more than 90 in and around Belarus. The Germans severely punished those who tried to escape from the camp. For attempting to escape, prisoners were hung on a huge hook and left to die. Hanging there, the prisoners suffered a slow and excruciating death. Stalag No. 352 existed until July 1944. The result of its activities were the corpses of more than 80,000 people. All of them were buried in large pits. Eternal Memory to You, The Sons of the Soviet People, is a book containing names and information about the Soviet prisoners of war who died in Stalag No. 352. In 1964, on the site of mass graves in the area of the village of Masyukovshchina, a memorial was built.